very much, Honorable Speaker, and I rise to give my reservations on the sale of the 15% GOK stake in Safaricom. Honorable Speaker, I have sat here and I've listened to my brother, the chair. I also had the opportunity to appear before the committee. And number one reservation that starts out very strongly, Honorable Speaker, one is the valuation. The National Treasury has been out here, especially I've listened to the officials from there, talking about basing the sale of Safaricom 34 Kenya shillings share price at something they are calling market price. But Honorable Speaker, our market has been bearish. It has been bearish from 2023 up to now. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, it would be wrong for Kenya to sell Safaricom shares at 34 shillings, a share that was selling at 45 shillings in the year 2021, Honorable Speaker, and especially at a time when the company has already invested in Ethiopia, has been bleeding cash for the last 2 years, but is now breaking even operationally. Honorable Speaker, looking at the financial statements of Safaricom, in the first half of this year, they made a 52.1% jump in net profit, making an over 40 billion Kenya shillings in net profit. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we anticipate that Safaricom PLC will be making an over 80 billion Kenya shillings in this financial year, ending March, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, in all considerations, it is possible that Safaricom will be making 100 billion Kenya shillings in bottom line from next year. Honorable Speaker, the kind of price and the reason given is incompetent and it is ineptitude by itself, Honorable Speaker, and especially basing the argument on market price in quotes. Honorable Speaker, at the same time that we are purporting to sell Safaricom at market price in quotes, Honorable Speaker, we have two transactions happening in the NSE. One is NCBA being the 66% buyout by NCBA, Honorable Speaker, by Netbank. Honorable Speaker, it is good that I clarify that before the advent.
Order, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, what is out of order?
You know, Honorable Speaker, this house is a house of record. And it would be very wrong if we do not challenge the misleading information being given by the Honorable, my good brother, the MP for Keharo. On the matter of valuation, the valuation that we use and is very well circulated in our reports, we have not based it on the market value. We have used economic models that are known globally as models of valuation of shares. So unless Honorable Ndindi Nyoro has come up with his own formula of how to value shares that is not there available in the economic information, Honorable Speaker, then he should tell us. But several methods that are used, including a price-earning ratio, enterprise value divided by EBITDA, has all given this year price between 10.96 shillings and 33.5 shillings, as I outlined in my report, Honorable Speaker. So unless Ndindi Nyoro has his own formula that he is vetted, that he needs to prove to all the economics and finance experts globally and patent that as his formula, then whatever he's saying is just hearsay, and it's important that he goes on record not to use formulas that are not in the domain of valuation of shares, because they are known formulas that like you've highlighted in our report, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro.
Honorable Speaker, I see people going around inviting people to give points of order on my contribution, and I hope that this filibustering is not taking away my time. But just to teach my brother some formula, Honorable Speaker, the same formula is purported.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, you know you are Speaker. You will be given all the time you need if your time would have been eaten into by any point of order. So just give your explanation. The point of order I hear, and I've guillotined your time deliberately, is the presentation you made was that the share value here in terms of the pricing in this transaction was based on the market price. And I hear the chair of the committee in charge of finance to be saying that was not so, and he's saying he had other formulae. All those formulae are not market price. So can you just respond to that, then you go to continue your presentation.
Honorable Speaker, that is basically the incompetent I was talking about. Because Honorable Speaker, using the same formula put forth by the chair, the one he finished with is P ratio. I want to inform my brother that the P ratio by the close of this financial year of Safaricom will be around 16. The market average is higher. Our buyers who are buying Safaricom shares, the highest P ratio, the best P ratio they've ever had is 40, Honorable Speaker, in 2022. Currently, their P ratio is actually negative because they make losses. The P ratio of Etisalat is over 30, Honorable Speaker. The P ratio of Orange, the P ratio of Airtel. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, it is proper that Kenyans are watching the total incompetence at which you are selling our Safaricom stake. That even our own arguments are against us, Honorable Speaker. The second thing, Honorable Speaker, that I want to bring forth.
Did you say the price at which the shares are proposed to be sold is inadequate or incompetent? What did you say?
Honorable Speaker, when it comes to a business transaction, you are either competent to look for value for money for yourself, or you are incompetent to give yourself to the other party. What I'm saying is this: the same formula the chairman is proposing of P ratio of telcos. By the close of this financial year, the anticipated profit of 80 billion. Honorable Speaker, the P ratio of Safaricom will be around 16.1 years, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the competitors in telcos, Etisalat, Airtel and the others, Honorable Speaker, their P ratios are much worse, Honorable Speaker. And it is glaring, Honorable Speaker, that we are giving forth an
Honorable Kimani Kuria, what is out of order? This is now a competition about finance minds, and it is beneficial for our debate.
Honorable Speaker, I did challenge my good brother, the Honorable Member for Kiharu, to give us one formula that he's using to give that price. And the price earning multiples, Honorable Speaker, as we've calculated and as shown by KCB as a firm that was valuing these shares, gave it a low of 10.62, an average of 17.08, and high of 25.01. Those are facts. So unless the Honorable then tells us, for him to call us incompetent, can he tell us which economic formula he's using so that he doesn't start to tell you about Orange? We're not selling Orange. He's talking about other telcos. We're not talking about other telcos. What valuation model are you going to use to propose the price that you're calling as incompetent? And until he answers that question, Honorable Speaker, he should withdraw his term of the word incompetence and all those other aspersions is casting on the National Treasury and on this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, what is asked of you should be very easy. Please proceed to address them.
Honorable Speaker, it is laughable that I wish the chair is listening to himself. He's talking about the PE ratio.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, have you looked at the report of the committee?
I have.
Yes, in the report of the committee, there are 5 models of share valuation demonstrated there, not only PE ratio. What I hear the chair of the committee to be asking is that if you say we would have yielded as a nation a better price than this, and you are tagging it to a price, what formula do you use to arrive at your price so that they would be justified mathematically to seek more? Proceed.
And I would rather you give me time, because every member will have time to contribute, and I don't need any help. I will also not purport to help them. I would rather contribute. The other members will have their time. Honorable Speaker, let me put it very correctly, Honorable Speaker. The formula I am using is the same chairman used. The PE ratio is price of an.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, the majority leader is on a point of order.
You know, Honorable Speaker, I'm one of those people who rarely interject when members are contributing. But Honorable Nyoro has a duty and a responsibility to respect other members. He has used very unparliamentary language to begin with, and those are some of the issues the chair stood up on a point of order. You cannot call people incompetent because he said that the valuation models used here are incompetent, and the committee that has considered it, they're incompetent. Honorable Rico is interrupting me because he's also a member of that committee. This is a committee of 30 members. Honorable Speaker, you have alluded to what Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is being challenged to substantiate, because you must substantiate things you allege. The easiest thing you can do here is to come and say, oh, this thing is incompetent, this share is undervalued. You must give us a substantiation of the alternative. And that is what I had Honorable Kimani Kuria ask. What is that other valuation model that you can give us or give the country so that we may benefit from your intellect? You are probably more intelligent than all the other people you consider to be incompetent. In your competence, show us that other alternative valuation model, other than the 5 valuation models that the committee considered here, that gives a better price than that price that is determined, that was negotiated on 34 shillings. And you know, Ndindi Nyoro has been out there in marketplaces and lecture halls saying how incompetent people are, how this share has been undervalued or overvalued at times. In fact, at one point, he said the share was overpriced. At another time, it was underpriced when the market became bullish. He has also said, told us here, that the market is bearish. For all intents and purposes, Honorable Speaker, I am also an observer and a trader in this market. I may not be a stockbroker like Ndindi Nyoro, but I buy shares. I know when the market gets certain information, the market reacts to that share price. When there was information on this session of paper, the market reacted. In fact, long before even this news became news that government was going to divest, the market reacted to it. And the market on the Safaricom share became very bullish. That is why that share rose. At the time, I think, when this session of paper was brought to this house, the share price was trading at 20-something shillings. It rose all the way out of speculation. Kenyans know that the share, the financial year of Safaricom is about to come to an end. I think the closes, I think, in March, is it? That the market, especially around the Safaricom share, cannot be said to be bearish.
You know, Ndindi has been upstanding due to the interventions, and I would request we stop them for over 10 minutes now. So I'm not going to allow any further interventions. You will have your contributions. You are requesting for 3. There is an offense taken with your use of the word incompetence, more so as they relate to the committee, and your phrase that the leader, the chairperson submissions before the House are laughable. I would request you withdraw those and then, deal with the issue if you can. If there is a formula, in economics by which we can land at a better price as a country, it would also be beneficial to the House. Otherwise, just proceed and conclude. 2.5 minutes from now.
Honorable Speaker, I don't find merit in responding to the filibustering from the previous member, but responding to the chair who earlier stated about the formula. I have been repeating and I'm repeating. I'm not even introducing a new one. I'm using their own. The chair stood here and talked about P ratio. I'm not even going to the other ones that I can use their many. I'm just concentrating on his. P ratio of Safaricom by close of this year will be 16.1 years, Honorable Speaker. Our buyers who are Vodafone, Vodacom, their P ratio, the best they have ever had is 40 periods, Honorable Speaker. P ratio measures periods. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ndindi.
Hey.
No, please, I will not allow more points of order. Let me direct this debate. Honorable Ndindi, P ratio is one of the 4 models. And they are in the report in terms of demonstrating how each model arrives to what figure.
Precisely.
Yeah, so it is not only PE ratio which has been proposed. And I have not heard the chair to say the model that was used to price these shares was PE ratio. There were 4 models that they are demonstrated there. The ask is that you demonstrate how you arrive at a share value that would be different from this.
Chairman, Honorable Speaker, I am repeating for the obtained time. I know there are even more than 4 formulas. There are more. But I want to zero in onto their own. Honorable Speaker, P ratio is price over earning ratio. We are talking about a price of 34. So the price is integral. Earning per share is also integral. And it measures periods. The period at which you may return your money using bottom line in Safaricom is 16.1 years, Honorable Speaker. The one for our buyers, The best I have ever had in around 2022 was 40 periods, Honorable Speaker, for 40 years. Currently, they are in negative. Etisalat, Airtel, Orange, they are all trading at P ratios in the ranges of 30. It means on that basis alone, our Safaricom share is undervalued by more than half, Honorable Speaker. The second thing, Honorable Speaker, I want us to consider, currently in our NSC, there are block trades happening at the same time. It is exposing what we are doing to Kenyans. NCPA buyout by Netbank. Before the announcement that there was an imminent buyout from Standard Bank earlier in the last quarter of last year, the price of NCPA was around 70 shillings. But the transaction price is 105 shillings, Honorable Speaker. There is a current transaction happening in the NSC, in EABL. DIGEO is selling to Asahi. The current market share price, Honorable Speaker, of EABL today is 259 shillings. But they are transacting at 590 shillings, Honorable Speaker. I'm just trying to say, it will be very wrong for anyone to bring semantics around market price, Honorable Speaker. It exposes how unpatriotic we can be, Honorable Speaker. The second thing I want to highlight is something called quotation precedent. Honorable Speaker, there were quotation precedents given by CA, Honorable Speaker, to our buyers in regards to licensing, where Kenya is losing over 70 billion Kenya shillings. The other one is information asymmetry. We are selling to one buyer, Honorable Speaker, instead of floating to the global market to get the best value, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the current person we are selling to is already an insider. There is already an information asymmetry. The CFO of the current company we are selling is proposed, Honorable Speaker, by our current buyers. Honorable Speaker, that in a mature market cannot be allowed to pass.